And welcome back. Hope you watched the 6 p.m. news tonight. We had part 1 on. We learned about Kelsey Sabo's journey to Uganda, working in the Peace Corp to help others in the world. But her biggest lesson, she taught, was not found in the classroom, but under a pile of leaves. 7,000 miles to freedom for 3 amazing young pups.
She's very disoriented. I realize she has wounds down her neck and there's flies all around her head. I don't know what's wrong with her, but she's struggling and scared and disoriented. Of course you're gonna help her.
She named this little girl Ellie, and before long she had 6 puppies. It was just horrible.
Ellie I had for about 2 days before, so she was recovering at a little bit faster rate than the other ones.
There are no real vets for dogs in this area. Their livestock has much better vet care.
They'll call a vet for their cows, or they'll call a vet if their chickens are sick. They treat their livelihood because those are worth money.
Their care was 24 hours a day, fluids and milk to keep them alive. It was every 15 minutes. Unfortunately, 4 did not make it. Heartbreaking.
The worst part was that I was calling these vets to come with a stethoscope and just tell me that their heart stopped. But just tell me that we can bury them. That's all I wanted.
And then there was little Beans, who came out of a coma in 5 days.
And she's slowly getting her strength back, and she's definitely a little miracle baby.
Then someone dropped off Hazel.
I don't think Hazel is a biological littermate of Ellie and Beans, but they're sisters nonetheless.
Now Kelsey was teaching without even trying to teach.
A lot of my pupils and kids who weren't in school would just go and stand at the fence and just watch me. And then I'd hear them say, like, she's touching the dog. She's touching the dog. Ah, the dog is running. Because they had just never seen this before.
Remember, in this village, they all fear dogs.
And it was my favorite part about all of this. The unintended cultural exchange, and it was maybe my best project that I didn't even mean to do.
As they grew healthier, the villagers learned so much.
And they never bit anyone. So if you love something, it will love you back. If you treat something well, it will love you back.
Kelsey's 3 years in Uganda was coming to an end. Decisions had to be made, but not really.
After this emotional experience, after everything that happened, it came down to there is no way I can leave these dogs. They are my children. They are my family.
It was time to get Ellie, Beans, and Hazel back to the States.
Man, it is so expensive to rescue dogs. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. One of my friends from high school mentioned you should check out Steve Caparoso's Pet Connection. I'm sure he gets a million messages a day. I think you got back to me 2 hours later. Yes, send me more information. We'd love to help. And I sent you pictures. I think within 2 weeks, we had all of the funds.
It was time to come home. A long 21-hour flight.
We landed in JFK. I got my family all together. We're all ready. Felt like the world had just been lifted off my shoulders. I was like, girls, we are home.
That must have been unbelievable, just trying to get them all back. They are almost a year old now. Ellie and Hazel are going with Kelsey to California. And Beans is a perfect match for her mom.
And she fits right in. The other night they were all sitting around, just Beans with my other pets, and she just was there with them, and she's just going to fit in perfectly. She's got quite a personality. She's just so sweet and loving.
I was just so amazed by how many people were so willing to help, and people who I didn't know and will never meet. Like, thank you so much, because this would have never happened. The smallest little bit of help all added up together can really move mountains.
An amazing lady.
So wonderful, the piece that you did, and the difference that she changed in the villagers for the respect they learned to have.
And she wasn't even sure she was teaching, but she saw how they started to love the dogs more. And here's the most important thing. Kelsey taught a village to respect and love dogs. They actually now walk them on a leash.
Oh,
and
my goodness.
Recently the school was painted that she taught at, and there's Beans, Ellie, and Hazel.
On the school.
On the outside of their school to honor them. Kelsey taught them something you can't find in a book, but only in her heart, to save puppies. Isn't
and
that
then
great?
you helped her save them by bringing them all home, because they would have been left to die.
Well, you know, we're going to figure out a way to get them home. Pet Connection family is amazing. We always know that. They reach into their pocket, they help, they adopt, they foster, and here's another perfect example of that. And Kelsey is still giving. She moved to California to work with a sunglass company. The villagers back where she's worked are making sunglass cases. They're selling them.
Oh,
and
my
the village
goodness.
is making money for education, to buy books and things like that. Is that amazing?
Still helping from
Yeah,
there.
great young lady, and thank you for sharing that story with us.
Yeah.
And they're doing